When I was getting out to open the gate, I noticed something on the ground that kind of made me chuckle. There's a bunch of slobber on the ground right next to the fence, and basically what that means is one of these calves, I don't know which one, but one of them has figured out how to nurse through the fence. Seems like every year one figures that out. The LS can do a lot of things, but one thing that it will never be able to do is fit under the wing of the barn. Now that I got these cows taken care of, we got to run back up to the hayfield and see if we can finish the groundwork. That's what's going on today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. Oh, look how close we are. Thank goodness. You really start asking yourself if you really need that ring roller on the back, but it does help. So we got it now. We can finally get to work. Well, I got out here, I started going, and you know, I just kind of put my head down and covered acres. I haven't really filmed all that much, a little bit, but I figured before I get finished, which is gonna be not too much longer, I talk a little bit about what I'm doing. The ground that I'm standing on right now has just been disked. I haven't floated it yet, and I don't know if the GoPro really picks it up, but you can see a lot of streaks kind of going down that way. And what these are, like this one here, is a dead furrow from the disc. The float is a very basic piece of farm equipment. I actually made this one several years ago, and all it really is just 3 pieces of channel iron that are on a slight angle that, as you could imagine, floats on top of the ground. It knocks down the high spots and it fills in the low spots. Hopefully you can kind of see the difference between the ground that's right in front of the float and then the ground that's behind the ring roller. So all it really does is smooth things out, makes the field a lot nicer to go over. And not only does the float knock out a bunch of bumps that you would feel every time you go back over the field, it also takes away places, you know, low spots where you could have puddles that would eventually drown out seed. So that's what I'm doing, and that's why I'm doing it. Now let's see if we can get finished. There are a couple things about floating the field that I like a lot better than disking. The first one being you can go a lot faster because we're not actually engaging the ground, we're just floating on top of it. And the other is kind of a result of that, and that is that we use a lot less diesel for this job. A neat thing about the LS MT7101 is that it has a gauge that tells you how much fuel you're using for any different job. So like when I'm running the disc, it tells me that I'm using between 12 and 14 liters per hour, just kind of bounces back and forth between those two. We'll call it 13 to average it out. And to float the field, I'm going faster, but I'm only using an average of 8 liters per hour. Now, as an American, I have no idea what a liter is, but when you're talking about fuel consumption, I know that the lower number is better. Whenever I'm out in this field doing tillage work, whether it's disking or floating or whatever it might be, chiseling I guess would be the only other thing, I start to think about the possibility of doing a no-till planting out here. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's exactly what it sounds like. You just plant the field without doing any groundwork, basically. Most commonly, this is done with a no-till drill, which I do not have. And what a lot of people do that don't have no-till drills is they rent one from their NRCS office or whoever they get it from. I'm not really sure, but I am fairly confident that that option is not available to me in my area. If it is, I've never seen anyone take advantage of it, and I've never heard anyone ever talk about it. So if that is an option and I'm just ignorant of it, and you live in this area and know that to be the case, please do send me an email, leave a comment or something. But for the sake of discussion, let's just assume that I cannot get a no-till drill. Then how would I do a no-till planting? These are the things that I think about while I drive tractor. So my idea, and I might try this on a small test plot next year, but it is to rather than disc the ground and float the ground and do all that, over the summer I'm just gonna mow the ground and just keep the stubble from the previous crop down low, and any weeds that may come up over summer, we'll just keep them knocked out. And then when it does come time to plant the field in the fall, I'll have to wait until after we get some rain, at which point I can spread the seed and the fertilizer and then come through with the harrows and the ring roller and just do a very light tillage on top, just to kind of toss that dirt up and cover the seed. So I guess technically it will not be a no-till planting, but it will be a very minimum till. Now, if you're wondering why go messing with things when you already know that the way I'm doing it now works, well, the reason is because a lot of people say that no-till farming improves the soil structure, which in turn would improve yields, and all that's great, and hopefully that is the case. The most attractive thing about it to me is the amount of time that it would save me. Instead of spending a combined 18 hours disking and what looks like is gonna be about 6 or 7 hours floating, all I would have to do is mow this field and it would be ready to go. And let's be honest, I usually end up mowing it anyway because the weeds get so tall out here over the summer that I kind of have to. And into the night we go. Fortunately, it's not going to be too much longer. I've probably got another, I don't know, 30 minutes or so out here. Another day, another bale. You can tell by that lack of enthusiasm that they're not all that hungry, and honestly, today would be a day that normally I would skip feeding because I gave them enough yesterday to kind of push them through. But I decided to go ahead and give them a bale anyway because we're in for some weather, and I feel like it's a good idea to kind of, I don't know what the word would be, I guess get them filled up before the storm hits. Today I've got to run up to the LS dealer and get some filters for this tractor because I have reached the 50-hour point and therefore it needs its first service. After we get done doing that though, I want to put out some rodent bait here in the barn because as you guys have noticed, and I've noticed too, the rodents are getting bad out there. You ready? Let's go. That's where we're going. Just got back with all the stuff that I'm gonna need to do the 50-hour service on the MT7 101. But we're not doing that today because it's raining. I've got something else I want to do. We're out here in the barn now, and as you can see, it is still raining outside, and Callie's trying to help with the rodents, I guess. She must smell a mouse. As usual, she smells something, but she's not catching anything. So what I've got is some baking soda. Due to the recommendations of many of you, I'm gonna try this baking soda mixture to kill rodents. Originally, I'd said I was gonna mix that with peanut butter, and several people advised against that, saying that the oil in the peanut butter like makes it basically so that they can digest the baking soda or something. It won't kill them. So what a lot of people suggested to use instead of peanut butter was cornmeal. Got to thinking, in fact, I almost went to the store and bought some cornmeal, but then I thought, you know what? This pig feed that I just bought in bulk here a couple weeks ago would probably work just as well. it is mostly ground corn and barley, so I think we're gonna try that instead. I've got these old plastic bottles. The plan is to cut the bottoms off so that the rodents can easily reach in there and eat our pig feed baking soda mixture. But then I got to thinking, what would be a really good way to set this stuff out is to just put it in a chicken feeder and then let it dispense as they eat more and more. Aha! I do still have a chicken feeder in here. Everything that I found said to do a 1-to-1 mixture of baking soda and whatever bait we're using, in this case pig feed. So I guess I will use the Ziploc bag as my measuring tool here. Just put it in the bucket because I'll probably spill some. A lot. What do you think? That's probably good. I'm a little skeptical. I think maybe I've got too much baking soda in there. I got it as close to 1-to-1 as I could, but yeah, looking at it, it looks like it's more baking soda than anything else. But you know, that's through my eyes. Maybe through a rodent's eyes, it's fine. So I think what we'll do is I'll go ahead and set out a few stations, and then tomorrow I'll come back and check them. If nothing has touched it, then I think we know we're too heavy on the baking soda, but if it's obvious that stuff's been eating it, then we'll just leave it alone. I mean, the pig feed was sort of light colored, so maybe it's fine. I guess this will just put it right there. Now I've seen some running around back here, so we'll put one there. Obviously got a lot of activity just right up here, so put this one here. It'll be easy to check. What I dislike about putting bait out like this is there's really no way to verify if it's working or not. I mean, I thought about bringing the trail camera over just to see if they were eating it, but that should be pretty obvious just by looking at it. I'm not sure that the camera is going to tell me anything that my eyes won't already tell me. The real question is, if they are eating it, is it in fact killing them? And the trail camera just not going to help me with that. So something like this, very difficult to definitively say if it's working or not, but hey, at least we're trying something. These are the only smart ones staying dry. Okay, now that your paws are nice and muddy, get on in. Well, I'll let you guys know how the baking soda thing works. I honestly don't have very high hopes for this, but you never know. This could be different. That's why I'm trying it, because if it does work, it's certainly the way that I would prefer to do things. I think the trick is just going to be getting them to eat it, and I'm not sure if my mixture that I've got out there is going to work or not. But I think that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.